What's up, guys? Fastball25 here with another video. Today we're going to be talking about role-playing in Elder Scrolls Online. We're going to go over all of the cool role-playing features that are in the game, then go into the problems with role-playing and stuff they could add, and I'll tell you guys a little bit about the role-playing community in this game and some guild stuff. So let's start off with the thing they've talked about probably the most about role-playing, and that's the emotes. They said, I probably am pronouncing that wrong, but they have a lot of emotes in the game, and there's like tons of them. You could probably see in some of the gameplay footage or the little clips that they've put out. We've seen like a guy playing a lute or something. We've seen like a guy drinking stuff. So there's definitely a lot of them. I hope there's like at least like 50, even maybe even more. And you know, it just always helps when there's lots of emotes that you can do to roleplay with other people. Now, another cool thing that they're doing, or really expanding upon, is character creation. There is so many character creation options. You've seen in the leaked gameplay and the gameplay that they came out at QuakeCon that there's so much character creation. There's so many sliders, buttons, colors that you can pick from. It's just awesome. So you can really customize your character any way you want. There's also going to be some armor skins, I think, that's been confirmed. So you can actually change the way your armor looks. So even if you have orcish armor on and someone else does, you can have a skin on that makes yours looks different from theirs, which is really cool. It's gonna add for a lot of customization in how your character looks, and that is definitely confirmed, by the way. And there's also lots of armors. So let's say we're talking about steel armor. In like a regular test game, everyone would just have steel armor and it would all look the same, but in Elder Scrolls Online, each race has its own kind of steel armor, so it's all going to look different. So really in the game there's going to be like, I don't know, at least 50 different types of armor, and I'm betting there's actually going to be more. So another quick thing I just wanted to mention is that walking is confirmed in the game. It's not a huge thing, but it's important for role players, especially because in some MMOs they don't have it, which is kind of weird because it seems so easy to do, but it is in the game, which is cool. Now I'm going to go into some of the problems and things that they have to add to make Elder Scrolls Online a really great role-playing game. So one thing that they've said that isn't in the game, and I just don't get, is that you can't sit in a chair. And it just doesn't make sense, because if you're in a tavern role-playing with people, you want to sit down. And it just seems like such an easy thing to add, and like they're not going to do it. I mean, I get that if they do it, they have to like make it so that every chair has the space for someone to sit in, but I just think it's such an easy thing to do that they're just sort of ignoring. Another thing that's a problem, and this is highly like disputed within the community, is there's no chat bubbles. I know a lot of people like chat bubbles, and I know a lot of people don't like them. Personally, I like them because it just makes it so much easier to keep track of who's saying what when you're role-playing with someone, other than having to look in the little chat box. But some people don't want it, and some people do want it, so I think the easiest thing to do is just make it an option. You know, we already have a lot of options when it comes to the UI, and I think this would just be another great thing that you could choose from. But one thing they did say is that you can mod the UI, which we already knew, so there's a possibility of someone adding the speech bubbles in later in the game, and I'm sure someone will. It'd be nice to have that at launch. Another thing that's kind of weird, considering this is an Elder Scrolls game, is that you can't enter every building. It's kind of weird because, you know, we're used to being able to go into everything in Elder Scrolls games, and it'll be really weird to have like sort of like a house in the middle of the town that you can't go into. And I don't really get why they're doing that. Like, they're always saying they're trying to make this an Elder Scrolls game, and I don't get why they would do that. I mean, they wouldn't even have to like make it like really detailed. They could just have like a house that they use for every generic house, but that's what they've said. Hopefully they'll change that. Another thing they said is that there's no character profiles, so you can't view the backstory of someone's character, and that'd be nice to add, especially because I know roleplayers like to show off their characters. It'd be nice to be able to do that. Another huge thing for me, and this is the biggest thing I wish they would add, is there's no crime system. So if you want to roleplay, well, there's no crime system at launch. They're gonna add it when they come out with the Dark Brotherhood and Thieves Guild, but no crime system at launch, which is a huge problem, because if you want to roleplay as an assassin or a thief, which I want to do personally, you can't do that because if you kill someone, there's no punishment, and like you can't steal stuff, it's just taking stuff. And that's kind of weird considering in all the recent Elder Scrolls games there's been crime systems, and lots of people like to, you know, play as the bad guy, like to steal and kill people, and I just don't get why they're not going to have that in at launch. I mean, they mentioned that the game is pretty much finished, and they have like 7 months at least to launch, so I think they really have to add it, and you know, hopefully they will. So now that's pretty much it on what they're adding and what they should add, and now I'm just going to talk to you guys a little bit about the community. So there's actually a nice little community for Elder Scrolls role-playing already. A pretty big one considering the game is like 8 months from release. But there's a really great place where you can talk to the community. It's the Elder Scrolls Online role-playing forums, and I'll put a link in the description to that website. I have an account there. It's really great. You can talk to people, people post their guilds up on there, and that gets me to my next topic, is guilds. So there's lots of role-playing guilds that you can join. Also, I want to mention that I am making a guild if anyone's interested, and I will post stuff on my channel about that in the following weeks. So thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.